record was not coming back, and well, it seemed that way, but I've been really busy doing other projects such as Battle of the Ports and so on. But that, playing a lot of Xbox 360, Grand Theft Auto 5. First Grand Theft Auto game I ever played, couldn't get away from it. But anyway, in this new show we've got two great games. We've got Knuckle 3 here for the Sega Mega Drive. While I didn't like it originally, it actually is a pretty good game, but maybe not as good as the second one. And we've got Battle Tycoon, or much higher as Battle Tycoon, but it's in Famicom. Pretty obscure beat 'em up, one-on-one beat 'em up, but pretty decent nonetheless. We've also got a look at the very cool Ken Feng, however you pronounce it, Game Boy Color. Better than Nintendo's own Game Boy Color in many ways. Also, not as good in some other ways. But first of all, let's start off the show with this. This is Eliminate Down for the Sega Mega Drive. Fucking classic. So probably the most expensive shooter for the Mega Drive, and certainly one that does stand out from the crowd, thanks to its lovely special graphical effects. And also one game that certainly doesn't believe in letting you start off the game easily. Look at this, straight into the first level, and you've got these twirly satellite dish things to avoid. Not exactly easy going, especially for the very beginning of the game. Now what makes Eliminate Down so special? Well, probably because it's rare, rather than it being such an excellent shooter, which it is a very good shooter. But I think the main reason why it's so expensive is due to its rarity. Made by ApriNet, a company that didn't really make that many games, and in fact is probably the only really good game which they did make. It didn't get many prints when it was originally made. Not to mention it was released by Softvision, who also released a load of crap. Probably the only good game Softvision ever released, to be honest. So as you can see, the programmers at ApriNet really did know how to use the Mega Drive. The game is full of these lovely rotation effects and even a bit of scaling. Even though it's all done in software, it still does look pretty good. Another thing that you have to give credit for is the amount of massive sized sprites on screen at once. I don't think any of the shooter on the Mega Drive really pushes the sprite size as much as this game does. The powered up system is a little bit on the weak side, to be, well, at least I think it is. It seems to be sort of borrowed a little bit from Hellfire. Basically you've got three types. You've got the forward shot, which you can see here, a back shot, and like a missile shot, which shoots out down, and then it'll also shoot out up and down if you power it up enough. You have a little laser as well, which can also be powered up, Dardia style. To power up your weapons, you have to collect the little icons dropped by ships, as in most shooters. And the more you power it up, the stronger your weapon gets. So overall, it's an amazingly good, playable shooter, and one that is actually quite tough. So here we have it. The Feng-Ken or Feng-Ken or Feng-Ken Game Boy Color. I have no idea how to pronounce the Chinese name. Now usually clones from China are complete and utter crap. They're just the cheapest plastic possible.
contain the cheapest ASCII components and usually break within 5 seconds of switching them on. But this is something different. It is actually quite solid. You know, the plastic it's made from is easily on par with that which the original Game Boy Color uses. And it comes in a variety of colours as well. You've got a yellow, blue, green, and then you've got the translucent versions of those colours. As you can see here, I've got the pure transparent version. Now, the unit itself has pretty decent buttons. They feel really nice. Starting select a little bit wobbly, but you know, not to complain about. The D-pad is maybe not as good as Nintendo's own D-pad, but you know, it's fairly responsible, fairly responsive, and it is quite comfortable to hold. The little speaker down here is, while it's only mono, does output quite a loud sound. It's pretty decent. And as you can see, the screen is beautiful, but we'll take a closer look at the screen later on. Around the side here, we have the link cable port and the volume here, no contrast. And on this side, we've got the power on and off. Around the back of the machine, well, what can you say? It's got a battery compartment, and that's about it really. But one nice feature I do like about this is it's properly shielded. So you take out the cartridge. It was World Heroes, no it wasn't, it was Battle Arena Toshinden. And as you can see here, you know, it's got a proper metal shielding on it. So not too nasty really. Now one thing that this machine does feature, just to keep in the tradition of lies and deceit when it comes to Chinese official original items or even clones. It does have what seems to be the infrared port on the back. Well, in reality it is actually just a piece of transparent black plastic, so it's transparent, and it's connected to absolutely nothing. So you know, at least it's got some sort of bullshit factor in there. But you do get this little hole here to put a little telephone strap or a keychain strap on. Ooh, how lovely. Okay, so let's take a look at the screen closer up. Okay, so as you can see, the screen is lovely and clear. Not one dead pixel on the unit. I have heard some of these units do have dead pixels, but this one certainly does not. But how is emulation speed? Well, as you can see, it's pretty good. I have heard that it does run a little bit slower than the official Game Boy Color, but you know, I can't really notice anything. But then again, to tell the truth, I've never played this game on an official Game Boy Color, so there you go. But yeah, it's working pretty well. Also, the sound emulation can be a little off in some games. Double Dragon springs to mind. That sounds a little bit off key, but as you can see, Castlevania, or as you can hear, Castlevania sounds pretty good. Yeah, to give you an idea of how good the screen is, let me just get the camera on focus with it, straight on. See, as you can see, it's lovely, isn't it? And it doesn't matter what angle you're looking at the screen, you can always see the screen. We haven't got lights glaring off it, that is. Okay, but how does the screen handle with fast motion? I know. Let's check it out with a shooter. This one should do the trick. Right, in we go. Plonk it in the back and switch it on. Right. It's going to be hard to play behind the camera. Yep, absolutely crystal clear. You can see everything perfectly. No blur whatsoever. Now, it must be said that the aspect ratio is slightly off compared to an official Game Boy. The image on this machine is a little bit squashed. But you know, you're paying a very small price to be able to play something in any lighting condition. And as I said, it feels rock solid, and in my opinion, it is better than an official Game Boy Color. as long as you don't mind slightly off sound in some games. You're probably wondering why the game is called Battle Tycoon Flash Hiders SFX. Well, SFX was the original code name for the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, and Flash Hiders is actually a series which is from the PC Engine, which this game is part of. In fact, Right Stuff, the company that made this game, who no longer exists by the way, did primarily make PC Engine games. I think this is the only, or maybe they made one more. They're involved in one more Super Famicom game. Anyway, this is a one-on-one beat 'em up with a twist. So first, let's just take a look at the standard one-on-one beat 'em up section. Like slight novel twist here, you get to upgrade various aspects of your character, and then it's off to the arena to battle it out. Now, while the game is definitely no SNK or Capcom fighter, it does play fairly reasonable. You know, it's got combinations, you've got your counter attacks and so on. You know, it's not bad. It's enjoyable. It can be a little bit slowed down every now and then, especially if you really rank up the speed on your own personal character. But you know, it's not bad. I've seen a hell of a lot worse, put it that way. Now, where this game really shines is something very unique, which as far as I know, only Right Stuff have ever even attempted to do this. The game is basically a one-on-one beat 'em up with RPG elements. So let's take a look at the advanced mode. So you get a little bit of a story to tell you what the hell's going on, and then you go straight to the map screen. Now, on this map screen, you've got various places you can visit, such as this place over here is the item shop, and in the item shop you can buy various items to power up your attacks, your speed and defense and so on. This is the stats bar, as I like to call it, where you can see how well your character is doing. You can also save your game in this place. And here we go with the battle arena. This is where you go to actually battle in the game. The more battles you win, the more powerful your character becomes. Look at that, kick to the groin. Or was it the chest? Who knows? So Tyria is the winner, and ooh, I got some skill points and I got some gold as well. Now the gold you spend in this place over here. Oops, don't want to go in there, that's the save game option. Mind you, you do also get to see a password, which is pretty good, but this game is going to be at least 20 years old and my battery is still working, so no need for the password yet. So anyway, yeah, we've got some gold, so let's go over to this little place here. This is the bookies, or the betting office. Basically, you can bet against various fights which are going on. Sort of like a tournament, I guess. If you bet on the winner, you get more gold back. Pretty obvious, really. In fact, these computer control battles are pretty good to watch because they really just show you what sort of moves you can pull out with your character. If you're too lazy to read the instruction manual, that is. So there you have it, Battle Tycoon Flash Hiders SFX. A fairly nice one-on-one beat 'em up with some really nice thoughts gone into it. The more you play, the more powerful your character gets. Lovely RPG elements. Unfortunately, the game is a bit obscure and not many people really know about it. But if you do find it, it should be quite cheap. Bare Knuckle 3 time, and one thing that people always used to talk about when it came to this game was the music. Yeah. Some people say Yuzo Koshiro was experimenting. I say he was just producing shit music. Let's take a listen to this track. Right, I can sort of see where he's coming from, but it's just fucking awful. It's just a load of noise. And just to show you how good Yuzo Koshiro can be, take a listen to this track from Bare Knuckle 2. Much more pleasing to the ears, and there's actually quite a decent tune in there which you can hear very clearly. Also, the sound samples used are a hell of a lot better. And just to prove that it's not just one track, let's listen to a crazy ass tune from Bare Knuckle 3. Yeah, like some fucking acid house trip going on. Pretty bad. And a crazy ass tune from Bare Knuckle 2. Massive improvement straight away in my opinion, but then again, that is just my opinion. I'm sure people will disagree, and yeah, fair enough. Music's like comedy, everyone likes something a bit different. No, the weird thing is though, when you're playing the game, the music doesn't really bother me that much, except here on the select screen. What the fuck is that? Okay, on to the game. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you play Bare Knuckle 3 is the speed of it. It is a hell of a lot faster than the previous games. The graphics do look a lot more similar to Bare Knuckle 2 than they do to Bare Knuckle 1. Or Streets of Rage if we want to use the Western name. So while the graphics look a lot more similar to Bare Knuckle 2 than Bare Knuckle 1, they're animated an awful lot better than Bare Knuckle 2's. There's also a larger array of moves. Blaze here, one of my favourite characters, can now dash across the screen in what can only be described as a typical girly run. She can also do her fireball without actually losing power. You can see to the right of the energy bar there's a little bluish grey energy bar, and that powers up. Once it's on max, you can actually do your special attack without losing any energy, which is quite nice. Of course you can still do your special attack when the power bar is down, but you will lose a bit of energy, like in the previous games. Oh, there's the sailor. Oh man, I'm not homophobic or anything like that. I just find this guy extremely funny. Just the stance and everything. Oh man. That's just not right.
Everyone remembers Bare Knuckle 2 for being a pretty long game, and it was quite a challenge. Whereas Bare Knuckle 3 is shorter, and I find it a lot easier as well. The artwork is also a lot more rougher than the previous games, but I do like the way it's gone for a more, I wouldn't say realistic, but less colourful approach. Hang on, I've just noticed Player 2's energy bars come on the screen there. Now I know there is a cheat where you can actually control this kangaroo by beating up the clown guy first. So let's try that. Not sure why hang on, where's the clown guy gone? He's just disappeared. Also, I'm not sure why Player 2's energy bar's on the screen, because there's no controller in Port 2 of the game. Oh, hang on a minute. Now I can't move anywhere. Oh, it looks like the game's crapped out. Yeah, it's oh well, okay, let's try again. As you can see, Player 2's energy bar is on the screen again. Not too sure why. There's also a bit of some glitching going on down by the phone boxes, have you noticed? Little square bit there. There's also one on the wall too. Ah, something tells me my cartridge of Bare Knuckle 3 is dead. Oh no, that's not a good sign. The screen's going green. My kangaroo's dead. Let's just kill this clown dude. What the fuck just happened? he's done like... Oh well. So I think that's going to be the end of the review of Bare Knuckle 3. I can't be bothered to go through the first few levels again. Well, there you have it. Bare Knuckle 3.